Hello everyone, welcome to next section of our video. So in this section I'll continue explaining you how we can access views in our app. So as we have seen, we have already declared two variables, answer label, get answer button with a data type text view and a button. Now we will add some more lines of code to it. After answer label, we will just will provide them some ID so that it recognizes what kind of value it has to pick up from the layout file. So for that I'll just write find. So see, Android Studio has already given through intelligence find view by ID. This is so find view by ID is a method and it requires a ID as its parameter. So here we need to provide some ID as its parameter, but rather than just by typing the ID from the layout, we must refer it through a generated resource class. So what is a generated resource class? So Android automatically builds a class which is called a R class, and R stands for resources. To be very clear, and you'll understand it, R stands for resources, and this class contains all the IDs we added to the file in the resource directory. So as you can see in my project panel, here is the resource directory, and whatever IDs we have added to here, the class contain all the IDs in the resource directory. So for that, the easiest example is I'll just go on adding and you'll understand it better. I'll just type R dot, and as you can see, it gives me so many options through intelligence. The options corresponds to the subdirectories which are present under the resource directory. So type ID, so I'll pick up ID, then again I'll put a dot, and see it has given me this all options that what has to be added and appended to our ID, and it contains all IDs in our project. And select, we have to select text view 1 and hit enter, and it will be added to our code. So this is how so from where did you get this text view 1? Why, how it recognized this thing? So as you have seen, this is the resource folder, and R stands for the resource, and inside that, inside the layout, we have activity main.xml file, which is our main layout file. So I'll just open that and show it to you. So inside the text view, as you can see, this is how we have declared our activity main.xml file. So here you can see this is my ID text view 1. So this text view 1, this view ID gets attached to my main activity class, and it will be shown how the view will look like. The same way how your layout has got attached. First thing was your layout got attached. After that, inside the layout, whatever views you have defined it, those will get attached to your main activity class. Now you can see it seems there is some error in your line and something has gone wrong. So how we can fix that? So as you can see, it's giving me that it's a incompatible types. So what does that mean? The error occurs basically because the find view by ID, this one method returns a view, but we declared our answer variable as a text view. As you can see, we have declared the answer level as a text view, but our find view by ID returns only a view. So what we can do, and it's variable as a text view, which is not a regular view. So if we change the variable to a regular view instead of text view, maybe our error can be removed. So what I'll do, if I just replace it with a view, so see my error removes. But does it solve our problem? No. The error goes away, but it only removes the error but doesn't fix our problem. So how we can fix our problem? Because the text view is a kind of view or a subclass view which we can fix by something called a cast. So what is a cast? Cast allows us to say that one data type, in this case the view returned by the method, can safely be cast as another data type. So I'll again just go and add my text view which was there earlier, and we'll try to fix this. error by simply using cast. So cast, as I have told you, is another data. So when we add cast to text view in front of the method and then select, so what I'll do, in front of this method find view by id, I'll just go and add a cast. So you can see I got an option text view. So this is the way you can do, how you can cast your data type, and same way we can do for button. So this is my get answer button. I'll again just go and first I'll cast it, otherwise it will again give me an error. Then I'll put a find view by id and r dot id dot. As you can see, I can see so many options. Which one I'll use? I'll just use this button one option and it will face. So this button one also have been declared in your layout file. We can just go ahead and see it. So as you can see in this line id button one, so this is only gets attached to your main activity class. So this is how we have declared our views and attached it to the main activity class. Then in the next section I'll show you how you can access your on click listener to that button, and on click of that how the answer will pop up. So thank you, and let's begin the next section for video. So in this we'll just continue adding some more lines of code to our Android app development. So in this section I'll tell you basically how we can access on click listener to a button. So adding a on click listener to a button, so we will just so it will make our button work, as we have already declared a button. Now we have to make this button work as well. So I will just start writing some more code. So for that, what we have to do, get, as you can see already there is an option, there is a method which is the intelligence pops up, the different method names, get answer button dot if I do, and if we continue typing like set, so you will see some options. Better we have to do a on click listener. So as you can see we already got an option, on click listener is on top of intelligence, and we'll hit the enter and select it. And on click listener is something what it sounds like, a button to be clicked. On click listener, so a button when it is clicked, when the listener detects the click, it runs some code to do something. So that's how a on click listener works. So in our case, in our quiz app, whenever we will just click on that button, it will run some code on the background and perform some actions. So we have to define all those things over here. So here set on click listener is expecting a parameter. As you can see, it's expecting some parameter that is of data type on click listener, and the listener parameter will get connected to a get answer button as well. So we have to declare that. So we don't have a listener yet, so let's create one listener. So for that what we'll create a new listener, new, and it will be view dot, again we'll just create a listener on. So as you can see over here I got the option, this is the on click listener, and this is how we get it. Now here just instantiate it. So here you can see this is giving me some error, so which has to be fixed. So let's see what the error is. So basically if I go on this and see, it's saying me it's suggesting me, Studio is suggesting me to implement some methods. So let's go and do it. Okay, it's saying me to implement on click method. I'll just do it. And okay, wow, Studio just created a lot of code for us, and this is the code which is required to create a on click listener, and the code runs when the click is detected and goes here in the on click method. So what we will do, so this is automatically got it, and how this Studio works. So what we will do, we'll just go ahead and add some lines of code over here. So for that, I'll just start writing some more lines of code after public view on click. So what exactly we have to write, I'll just, because on click of the button I want to display some answers, so I'll just go and declare my string variables as answer and set it to answer type, which we can declare in our main activity class. So I'll just go over here, I'll just declare string is answer, and I'll set it to answers, as you can see, and dot get answer, and then put a semicolon. On the next line I have to set, so all this my answer, from where it is getting, I have another class Java file my answer dot Java, where we have already declared this is the class name. So from here get answers my answer, it is picking it the values from there. So we'll discuss that my answer dot Java file, what are things are mentioned over those files, and we can see. Next line I'll just go and set some text to the my answer level. So for that, what I have to do, answer, so you can see answer level dot set text. So as you can see, there are many options which is it's giving me set text. So I'll just set text as answer, this one, the first one. And what it does, so on the next line, whenever we do a answer level dot set text and hit enter, the first method in the list, we need to pass it as a string parameter. So and then we will put answer variable, which will be used as a text for the answer level. So here we will pass our text for answer variable. So this is how it works. So on click of the button, this line of code will run in the background and perform some action. So as we can see, the answer level, and now we have to declare a key variable. So as we can see, this answer level shows a red error, which will fix through a quick fix which is available. So it's saying as make answer variable as a final. So now the keyword final has been added. So what we have to do, this answer variable, we have to make it as final. So we'll do it as a final. So the error goes away. So what does final do? Basically the final keyword means our answer level variable cannot be reassigned. This is important because the on click method must refer to the same view as long as it exists. It cannot be reassigned to some other view. We cannot make it updated to a text view by assigning it to other text level variable to the text view. So now we can see our answer level has been added, and this is how we have set our text to answer. So in the next section of the video, I'll show you how we have defined all different things in our myanswer.java files, and those are referred in main activity file, and then how you can run your end-to-end app. So thank you, and let's see you in the next section. This section I have already told you and shown you the main activity.java file, where we already have our button integrated, on which click we get all the answers. So now the next thing we'll do, we'll create a my answers.java file, which will consist of all the answers which will be populated once you click on that button. So I'll tell you all the steps how you can create my answers.java file, what all important things you need to make sure before creating it, how you can integrate the answers in the class file, and setting all answers values on click of that button. So we'll see from creation of the answers my answers.java file till execution of this file. So let's begin and let's go to our Android Studio. So this is our Android Studio. So here what I'll do, I'll just go where my main activity is created. I'll just go and create another Java file with the name as my answers.java. My answers. I'll just create another Java file which is my answers. The package name will be same, everything I'll keep the same, and I'll do OK. So this is my answer file which is created, and the next thing, now we'll start adding some code to it and see exactly how it works. So next thing what I'll do is, first I'll add some pieces of code over here. So for that, so first you need to make sure what your you have to understand the requirement, what exactly you need to write in the my answers.java file. This I have told you earlier as well. Before writing any piece of code, just understand, just visualize what exactly you need in my answers.java file. We need basically some of the fruits name, because since we are going to display some fruits name, so we are going to store those fruits names somewhere in the memory, and then on click of that button those fruits names should populate. So what I'll do, I'll just go and create an array of classes, and where I'll just store all the fruits name. So just let's begin for that, and here I'll just start writing code public string. I'll define it as an array, and here one variable, maybe my answers is equals to, now here I'll add all my answers value. So whatever value you want to populate, maybe apple. Next I'll populate oranges. So here we need to do a comma. Next will be your mango. Now since I have defined all the different fruits name, maybe we can take one more. Maybe I'll take apricot. So this is how you define elements in an array. So this is the simple way. I'll just define it, and we'll just see how it's got executed. So now we have already defined array answers, my answers variable, and stored the values of different fruits name. Next we'll create, what we need to do next, we have to create a method like get answers, which will call in our main activity class on click of the button. So basically here after this I'll just, maybe we'll do a comment, methods, and which will be called to get all answers. So this is the method. Now I'll start writing the method. So inside, first we'll understand what this method will do. So inside this get answers method is basically, this get answers method will call in our main activity class, and then on click of the button, this click fruits name, inside the get answer method we will define an empty string variable answers, where we will be setting all the values of answers stored in answers. So basically first let me write this method, and then I'll show you our main activity.java, and you'll understand it better where exactly I'm calling that method and what exactly it will do. So first let's go and define this. Public and strings get answers. So it already given me, so public string get answers. So what I have to do here, I'll define string answer. I'll define it as an empty string, and then so inside the get answer method we'll define an empty string variable named as answer, where we will be setting all the values of answers that is stored in this answers array. So this all values is going to be stored over here. So next line will be, now we'll construct a new random generator method which will generate random answers. So basically, if you understand random generator, why we use in Java, to generate random numbers which are stored in this answers array variable and stored it in an integer variable which is known as a random number. So let's go and define a random generator first. I'll just define random and a variable name random generator whose value, this is a new variable, so it's construct, so new random, and so this is basically we are constructing a new random number generator. In the next line of code, so once we have constructed the new random generator, what we'll do, we'll generate random answers which will be stored in answers array variable and store it in integer variable that is a random number. So we have to, next line will be, we have to define an integer variable int. The variable name will be random number whose value will be equal to, whatever values we get in random generator, and then dot the next value. So the next, so we already got these values, and what we will be going to store over here, it will be answer, so dot its length. So this is how it's going to display. And then my next line will be, I'll again, now this value of random number will be stored in an answer variable, and finally we will return an answer variable. So let me store this value of random number in an answer variable, answer equals to answers, and then here it will come as random number, and then what I'll do, I'll just return answers. This is how I'll return it. Return will be a answer. So this is how you can see I'll just return the answer. So value of the random numbers will be stored in the answer variable, and finally we will return this answer variable, so we'll get all the answers. So what I was telling earlier, why we have defined this get answer, we'll call this our main activity class on click of the buttons. So I'll just open the main activity class and show you. So here, if you remember, I have shown you here, I have called the get answer method, where we will set some text and the answer will be displayed in the layout of the screen. So that we will discuss in the next section of our video, where I'll tell you what kind of layout we have created, how we are writing this code, calling this in our main activity main.xml file, and how to use these Java files. So here I have told you the main Java files, main activity.java and myanswers.java. And the next thing we will see about the layouts. What are the different kinds of layout, which layout is best for our app, and how we are integrating these answers in our layout. So thank you, and let's see you in the next section.